They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now a play fake here on first down. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
While we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Hardy, he gets this one complete to Traquan Smith. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. And it's taken in at the 9. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here. 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Devontae Freeman, 78 yards. And the Steelers have taken a first quarter lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 7-0. Now the punter, who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. To throw on 2nd down. Hardy. Being nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Here's Mahomes to throw. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now the pitch to Freeman. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Devontae Freeman with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now 14-0. Now the punter, who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio!
Back to the air on 2nd down. Hardy. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
Here we go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Ohio! Ohio! Flex round! Flex round!
On first down, Hardy. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Picked off by James Bradbury. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Well, this is one of the downsides of being a rookie quarterback. You know you're going to get called out about everything you do that goes wrong. Here, maybe he's a little uncertain about where to go with the football. And at this level, uncertainty equals turnovers. And this one winds up being intercepted.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes. Out to his left. Able to power through. Finding room inside. Mahomes hit. He lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Forced out to his left. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Come on, let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hardy. And it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
On 1st down, Mahomes. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And able to get this down inside the 15 to either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. They go play action here on 1st down. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And Freeman lost the football. But it looked like the Steelers were able to recover, and they will indeed hold on to the ball.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Stephon Diggs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 21-0. Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah,
and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. To throw on 2nd down. Hardy. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Ohio!
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Denzel Perryman able to drop him for a loss of a couple.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. From the gun, Hardy. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Maybe he telegraphed it a little bit right there. You've got a cornerback knowing that he's going against a rookie quarterback. He stepped in and picked it.
You think he had a great week of preparation, looking forward to this opportunity? And the second part of that is, when you're a young quarterback, you are going to stare down targets, but oftentimes your playbook hasn't expanded to give you full field reads as well. Makes it a little bit tougher for him.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Chris Jones breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards that time at a Pittsburgh first.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that 1st down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 11 more on that one, and another 1st down. Mahomes will bring him up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. Now here's Mahomes. He goes underneath to Freeman. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Back to the running game. It's Freeman. Room here to run. And down inside the 15 he goes. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Looking to throw is Mahomes. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Devontae Freeman on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the route is on here in this first half. Now the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time, first half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Red 38. Red 38. Cut.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
But, has that changed in a big way? The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
Breaks through the contact. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That one goes for 24 yards.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
On 1st and 10, Hardy trying to lay one up deep. And this is taken in at the 5. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for Cincinnati. 45 yards. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and sneak it here. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. It's their quarterback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. Gano out to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Steelers. There's really no reason to change what they've been doing to this point. They've got the lead. They've looked good this first half.
I agree with you totally, and a lot of coordinators, play callers feel exactly the same way. Until you stop what I'm doing, why should I make any changes? But there are a few that kind of outguess themselves or try to outguess the opponent, and they try to consider what they would do to take things away and go to those plays right away. It'll be fun to watch when they get to the second half to see which way they go.
Yeah, but to this point, it certainly hasn't been broke. We'll see if they try to fix anything. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, Freeman. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
Looking to throw. Hardy. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Operating from the gun. Hardy fights him off. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. Shane Ray in there to get him for his 2nd sack of the night. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Taken from just outside the 30. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the 3rd quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the 2nd half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? The way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now this time Mahomes will throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, didn't look his way at all in the first half. And I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
He can run for it, and he will. He'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down.
When we talk about Luke Kuechly, you can't talk about his overall game without talking about his intelligence and how he controls the whole defense. He quarterbacks that defense, and at times will actually make checks, just like a quarterback would on offense to get them into the right defense. They definitely were on that play. How about that finish? Holding that to a minimal gain.
This is taken at the 23. And that negates a pretty decent punt return.
And the goal is to gain a 1st down on the punt return, which is 10 yards. This was much more than that, but it is going to come back due to the illegal block in the back.
Throwing on 1st down. Hardy. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Has several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Now Bell. And now running right through it. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Ohio! Ohio!
From the gun on third down, Hardy. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. Oh, he slipped right by him. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
How about that little piece of athleticism? Not only the catch, how about the move?
That's not a third down back out there either. That's a tight end making that move. This quarterback now just 7 of 15 so far, but he's got a 1st and 10. From the gun, Hardy. Buying time to his left. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Hardy eluding the pressure right. And this is caught at the 8. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A really nice gain of 25 yards. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. 2nd and goal, the lone man in the backfield, Le'Veon Bell. They'll come out in the pistol. Steps away to his left. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. Pretty lucky to get the football back. Had his target out there waving the arms, saying I'm open, but maybe didn't see him quick enough.
And I know the jokes are always about defensive backs' hands. What really actually happens, you don't get many opportunities. You get over anxious, and you start to think about taking it away and going the other way instead of focusing and catching the ball.
And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Le'Veon Bell, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Bilal Nichols.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now Mahomes. And he's able to find Diggs. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler 1st down. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he takes this all the way inside the Cincy 20. A big run there by Freeman. 41 yards on the ground. And Freeman, not sure if he was a surprise exactly, but he sure took the NFL by storm.
Well, when you talk with his team, they'll tell you they saw this coming. They knew he had the talent. They were just ready to turn him loose on a full-time basis, and he took full advantage of it.
And now one of the most electrifying runners in the game today. On first down, they go with Dixon. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
On second down, here's Mahomes. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Eric Kendricks coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Well, no takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Gonna need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack for Mahomes and company. Mahomes gonna throw. He's gonna flip one out here to his running back. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. This to make it a 3-score game late. Sanders' kick is good, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Give him 30 yards there. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. On first down, Hardy. Looking deep downfield. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
To throw on 3rd down, Hardy. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is incomplete. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on fourth, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, you know, I remember playing how much fourth downs were emphasized. You know, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you. You know, if people are going to go for it on fourth down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently. Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. To throw, it's Mahomes. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step one. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still three-score game, though, fourth quarter. A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Hardy. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
Ohio!
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hardy. This is Bell on the dump off. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice gain.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football.
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Denzel Perryman in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. From the gun, Hardy. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Denzel Perryman in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Back to throw. Hardy. And he's going to go down again. Melvin Ingram in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The Bengals try it, but it doesn't work out. And the Steelers, they're going to take over an excellent field position. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. Been a very strong performance for them, really on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example. And now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless and take care of the ball on the way out.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this.
Here we go. Green, 90.
Now Mahomes throwing on second down. And that's going to be incomplete.
I had a coach tell me a long time ago that running a screen pass is similar to acting 101 for your offense because you got to show something different and create extra space for linemen to chase the quarterback in order to create extra room for the receiver to catch the football and maneuver upfield. In this case, they'll give a lot of credit to the defense. They communicated well. You could hear them talking to each other on the field, and they reacted.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Chris Jones in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals getting set to go. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better.
Yeah. And Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Shane Ray bringing the pressure again, and that is his 3rd sack here tonight. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Off the play fake. Hardy. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter, and find their way open.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Flex round! Flex round!
Operating from the gun. Hardy. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10. Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And they take a knee. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Steelers, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5.